Welcome to the Finance Director's session on how to do a break-even analysis. Break-even analysis, type that up, is to help you find out how many you need to sell of your product in order to make a profit. I'm going to type in the key ingredients. So first one is the sales price. Second one is fixed cost. Third one, variable cost. Fourth one, break even point. We also want to find out the targeted profit point and the required sales to make your targeted profit. If this is going fast, don't forget to just press pause so you can catch up. I'm doing this for my business, which is called Relaxed Teas. So first component that I need here is my fixed costs. So my fixed costs, we've got our Young Enterprise Scheme fee. We've got our screen print setup, because my t-shirts are going to be printed. We've got advertising. So fixed costs are costs that you have to pay whether you sell 1 or 5,000, you still have to pay the same amount. Website, still have to pay my website domain name whether I sell 1 or hundreds. And I've got a postage and stationery. Cool. Then we'll put our variable costs in. So our variable costs are costs that are associated with each one. So for each Relaxed Tee that I purchase, I'm going to have to buy the t-shirts. There's a screen printing cost. For each one I do, there are the pouches, which the wheat bags are going to go into. There's the wheat that goes into each one. There is a sewing cost. I'm going to pay somebody to sew it rather than do it myself. And the last one I quite like is a sales commission. Reward those people who are getting out and making the sales for our team. So these things here are researched. You have to make sure you get them right, otherwise everything is not accurate. So let's have a look. I'm going to sell them for $49.95. According to my market research, people will buy them for that. Fixed costs. Well, let's put those in. Young Enterprise fee is equal to $35 times my 6 directors, $210. Screen printing, I got a quote for $180 just for that setup fee. Get out your silly thing. We've got next fee, advertising is $90, website $50, postage and stationery $60, and I'll add those up by clicking on auto sum. $5.90 before I sell anything. That's a lot, eh? The t-shirts, you can get a lot of t-shirts. I found some quite nice ones for $9.95, so I'll put $9.95. I've screen printing. After that setup fee, they charged me $4 per one. The pouches, pretty cheap. They're only $2, as is the wheat. Sewing, that's the person sewing it in. They're going to cost $7 per one to get it all sewed. And lastly, sales commission, really important for me, that I sell what I need to. $10, and again, auto sum. Variable cost. So we're going to put those up in here. The total fixed cost, $5.90. Total variable costs equals, click on the total down there. Break even point. This tells us how many we need to sell in order to cover our fixed costs. So formula equals our fixed cost divided by, open brackets, our contribution margin. Our contribution margin is our sales price minus our variable cost. So basically you can see there that's $15. So for every one that I sell, I'm going to get $49.95 minus $34.95, which is $15 gross margin per item that I sell. So in order to break even, according to this, I need to sell 39. If that comes up with decimal places, just go down to decrease decimal for you. Targeted profit. Well, my group have told me we want to make $5,000 profit this year. So in order to make that, I add it to the top line of the formula. So I've got my fixed cost plus my targeted profit divided by my contribution margin. Remember, that's sales price minus the variable cost, $15 per item at this stage. And to get 5,000 profit, we need to sell 373 teas to make a profit. Now that seems like a lot, but hopefully if we sell that quantity, some of our other costs can come down in terms of these variable costs. It also gives a target for our salesperson. So now we've got to do a graph. So we're going to type in break-even calculations. So for this we need to hit up output. That's how many we are producing and selling. We're going to put our variable cost. Actually, we'll just type VC, variable cost, fixed cost, FC, total cost, TC, our revenue, and our profit or loss. As you're doing this, this is part of the Year 13 accounting, actually Level 3 accounting, and it's an external called management decision making, half of it anyway. So because my break-even point here is 39, my output, I sort of want to make 39 about 3/4 of the way along my graph. So I'm going to go up in fives. 0, 5, and I'll fill that down to 60. Cool. So if your break-even is 12, then you might go in 2s and get that up to 16, 20. Calculating my variable cost, if I produce 0, then my variable costs are equal to my output multiplied by my variable cost per item. Press F4, that absolutes it, so when I fill down, it'll fill down with that $34.95. My fixed cost, if I sell 0 or 1,000, my fixed cost is still going to be $5.90. Don't forget to absolute it by pressing F4 on your keyboard. Total cost, I'm going to add my variable cost plus my fixed cost, and that gives me total cost, and revenue is equal to my output times the sales price. Don't forget to absolute F4 your sales price. And lastly, your profit is equal to your revenue minus your total cost. And we'd expect 0 minus 590 to be a loss of 590. So once we've got all that, we can just fill that down. And you can see we start making a profit between 35 and 40, which obviously is this because that's 39. If we sold 40, we'd make a profit of $10. Now I'd like you to graph it. To graph it, highlight variable cost down to revenue. Oh, actually that looks silly. Let's put all of those with commas. Cool. Just makes it 2 decimal points. So highlight from variable cost down to revenue, and we're going to go insert and put a line graph there. Great. Now it looks okay at the moment, but we're going to make it a little bit better. This x-axis, we haven't highlighted that yet, so right click on the x-axis, go to select data and edit it. Try that again. Just want to be able to see all my x-axis, so do that again. Right click, select data, edit, and we're going to highlight from 0 to 60. See how it changes from 0 to 60 there? Okay. Note that the break-even point was about 40, and the profit or loss is the difference between this green line, our total cost, and this purple line, our revenue. And you can see no profit or loss there, and we start making profit or loss here. Just to finish the graph off, we'll give it a title. Mine's going to be break even LXTs, and this axis here will just make that dollars. So this break even graph is to go into your business plan. Why is it so useful? Well, it tells us how many we need to make a profit. The other things that you need to see here on the graph, see this fixed cost line? Note that that's 590, stays 590. So whether we sell 0 or whether we sell 60, our fixed cost stays the same. Our variable cost line and our total cost line are parallel, starting at 0 for variable cost and starting at 590, our fixed cost line for our total cost. And here this purple, obviously that's 49.95 multiplied by the output. Why is this so good? Because you can change your prices. So I want to show you a few things. Let's try and screw down our prices a little bit. We'll say posters and stationery. We'll try and bring that down. Let's bring that down to $20. And you'll note when we press enter our break-even point here and down here, that line will move a little bit. Goes from $39 down to 39 we need to sell down to 37. Teas, in actual fact, I can get a supplier that can sell for $4.95, importing from overseas, a lot cheaper. Quality still okay, and we'll see it goes from 37 again down to 28. So much easier to sell 28 than 38. 10 less you need to sell. At the start, we might say to our people in our group, well, we've got to sell them ourselves, make that sales commission nothing to start off with. Now we've only got to sell 18. Sewing costs, let's work really hard to reduce that price down to $5, only down to 17. Maybe not such an issue, so we'll make that back up, perhaps. And pouches, well, we can buy them in bulk. If we buy them in bulk, we might get them for $1. So what you've got to work really hard on is making that contribution margin, the difference between your sales price and your variable cost, as large as you possibly can. If you can do that, it's going to bring this break-even point. Remember, we had 38 we needed to sell. By working really hard to reduce those cost prices, we've got it from 38 down to 18. Remember, we needed, it was 378 to get our 5,000 profit. Now we only need to sell 179. Your job as finance director is get these prices right. Very important. Secondly, try and make sure the sales director keeps that price as high as they possibly can. Screw down on these prices, get them as low as you possibly can, and that way you get to your required sales and your targeted profit much, much sooner. Your job, complete this for your business. This break-even analysis chart, that's going to go into your business plan. You're going to give details about how you get these costs here. And also, you're going to write out what the break-even means. So just a little paragraph about what this means. All that's to go into the business plan. Good luck. Next video will be around from the break-even, how do we do the monthly cash budget. See you then.